Okay, we're back with Nikki White Polar Extremes. And we've got chapter 27. It's called Max Throttle. Nikki's perspective this time, February 21st, 2020. I watched Bill leave bottoms up all of a sudden. Figured he was mad at me for talking to Snowbow. Then again, he had just been talking to Thomas, so how well could that have gone? I didn't want to think about it. What's wrong? Adam asked from the bar stool to my left. I don't see how we're all going to survive being trapped here together for such a long time. Adam shrugged his shoulders and took a drink. At least you're here, he said. That helps. Wow, thanks. I'm glad you're here too. Hopefully we can all help each other get through this somehow. Do you really think that we'll end up going to Mars? Well, I never could have imagined I'd be having a drink in Antarctica, so maybe I should start to believe that Mars is a real possibility. A couple of stools to my right, Ina leaned over the bar and gave Sam a hug. He squeezed back and no doubt whispered some words of encouragement in her ear. He was nice like that. Then Ina surprised me by coming over to my stool. She seemed different, perhaps a little softer, as she looked at me. I wasn't sure it had to do with her brother's death or not. I'm sorry. About Carl, I said, struggling to show sympathy to the same woman who had pushed me off a boat and ladled fish guts into the sea to attract sharks. Ina nodded and seemed appreciative. It's tough, the German woman said, fighting back tears. Being here, so far away, so far away. Nothing I can do, no way to say goodbye. I nodded. I nodded, but it was all I could do not to call her out for being part of the bridge. Excuse me. Which had cut me off from my family and friends, at least the ones not banished here with me. Nevertheless, I bit my tongue, and I was glad I did, because she stunned me with what she said next. Go, follow Bill now, she said, hooking her thumb toward the door where he had left moments ago. Why? Willem has a surprise for him, a good one. Really? I glanced at Adam to my left. Go see, he said. Let me know what happened. So I waved bye to him and Sam, and off I went down the corridor. I could hear Bill's voice coming from the music room nearby. I stopped at the open door, watched and listened. He was playing acoustic guitar and singing a Pink Floyd song I recognized, Wish You Were Here. I knew it was for his son Max, and I felt the tears flood my eyes. Then someone cleared his throat behind me. I turned. It was Willem, who quickly stepped aside to reveal two people behind him, Max and a young woman. Max, I screamed, hugging him. Go race to your daddy. He did just that, and Bill dropped his guitar on the floor mid-note at the sight of his son. He wrapped the young boy up so tight in his arms, crying and laughing at the same time. I was doing the same. So good to see you again, Max. So good, Bill said. After a long, wonderful moment of that, he put Max down and walked toward Willem. How? I thought. How? I thought we came in on the last flight, Bill asked the old man. Willem smiled as I glanced at the woman to his left. She looked American, if I had to guess. Long brown hair and college age at most. You did, Willem said, but Max and Alexis here arrived in December. They've been staying in a different wing of the station. Alexis is his personal sitter and tutor. Bill stepped forward and shook her hand. Thank you for taking care of my son, he told her. She smiled. You're welcome. Max is a lot of fun and very smart. Bill ruffled up Max's sandy brown hair, and the boy giggled. It was so good to see them together again, as I recalled our days hanging out together at Clearwater Beach in Florida. But how have we not seen him in the galley? And why didn't you let me see him when I got here a week ago? Bill asked Willem. We bring all his food and beverages to him in his living quarters because children are not allowed at the station. But you brought him anyway, Bill said. Why? For you, for one, Willem said. The bridge breaks the rules for all the right reasons. But you needed a week to adjust and begin training before we'd allow regular visits with your son. Bill's eyes were bugging out, mostly with glee. What can I say? I'm blown away, he said, bending down to bear hug Max again. This gives me hope. You have no idea. I can't breathe, Daddy, Max said with a toothy grin, making us all crack up. I went from miserable to just so damn happy at the sight of him, Bill said, standing up. Good, Willem said. How often can I see him? Daily. We'll arrange it so you can visit him in his quarters. Who knows? Maybe we'll smuggle him outside, too, once in a while to see the auroras, Willem said. That'll put some hair on his chest, Bill said, rubbing Max playfully. Indeed, this will be the first time we have a child winter over here. This station is all about science and research, and Max here is an important experiment. He will tell us much about what children can handle. I suspect it will be much more than we give them credit for. Max piped up right on cue. Can I go play the drums? He asked, his eager brown eyes quickly scanning each of us in turn, hoping for a positive response from anyone. Of course, Bill yelled, not waiting for approval from Willem. The boy raced for the drum set beyond Bill's fallen guitar and started pounding away with the kind of enthusiasm that could turn this pole right side up. There's no stopping him now, Bill said with a laugh. Willem nodded and smiled. And that is the spirit we all must have if we expect to go, where we need to be. From now on, we should call your son Max Throttle. I like that, Bill said as we all chuckled and watched his son. Then I thought about my father, and I pulled Willem aside. Do you happen to have my dad stashed away down here somewhere, too? Willem's smile quickly faded. No, your father has proven quite stubborn in his resistance to our cause. I hated to kill the mood of Bill and Max's reunion, but even with the sound of drums and cymbals filling the room, I would not let it go. If only briefly, my father had rescued me from that hospital, from Dr. Peter Van Wooten, from the bridge. How could I ignore that he was still there captive somewhere? I got in Willem's face and growled. My respect for my father goes up every day then. The bridge thinks nothing of breaking the rules and breaking up families. All the right reasons in your mind or not. That's wrong. I'm sorry you feel that way, Willem said with little conviction. No, you're not. Freedom and being apologetic don't exist in your world. Willem just scowled at me and left the music room with Alexis and stepped behind him. Bill had been close enough to hear the topic of our exchange, if not every word. Well said, he told me. Just when I thought you had a raging case of Stockholm Syndrome, the Nikki I always knew returns. Go spend time with Max, I said. Try not to think about the fact that the bridge just let you see your son for the first time in months. That's the end of chapter 27.